And welcome along and welcome to this first look at Wild River Forest. This map was released late last week. It was actually available last Thursday, the 20th of October. And yeah, it's by Carl TG and Pixel Farms, who you might recognize from whole Macra, which is my current forestry map. Really looking forward to having a look around this. I think the focus very much more is on a mix of arable and forestry. There are a lot more fields. Well, there are fields on this map. So yeah, we're going to have a look around. First, let's look at the map itself. And as I said before, there are a lot of fields on this, but we still have a lot of areas of forestry around it too. For cheapest fields, we've got a couple of really small ones. Field 15 is only 553, which is nothing. 352 for 24. I doubt we're going to find a smaller, cheaper field than that, actually. Yeah, there we go. So field 24 is the cheapest field. If you want to come in and start from scratch, you could buy a whole load of fields for very little money. I think this is the map with the cheapest fields I've ever seen, saying that, because there is just no value to these fields at all. Yeah, the main farm complex, which we own because we're in New Farmer, that is only 3,852. So I would go even further, saying that this is a great survival map, because you can come in, you can do a couple of contracts, and then you have enough money to buy your first fields. Absolutely brilliant, wonderful survival map. This strikes me at, and maybe a map to try for that later on. We've also got lots of forestry areas. Again, they have a similarly cheap price. It is not an expensive map to buy stuff. Most expensive field is over here, which is field 50. Only 26,691. Now that is cheaper than most fields, most cheap fields on larger maps. There are some maps that don't even have fields in areas that cheap. So yeah, if you're looking for a really good survival gameplay, I think this map is great. You'd own the whole map in next to no time. I think even with coming in start from scratch, you are going to own the whole map just on the 500,000 starting. So yeah, I think this map very much is one for a survival gameplay, and one where you want to progress fairly quickly in said gameplay. We have the TLX 3500 that we're going to be going around in today. One thing I will say is you will never be able to borrow much money on this map. I think you probably be able to borrow 500,000, and that's it, because the land value being worthless essentially means that you are not going to get very much from any, or you're not going to increase the value of your land enough to increase the to go over the 80% for a field. Now over here we've got one of the forestry areas. I'm just going to go off-road a little bit and show you the level of detail that they've put into this map. It is quite an incredible amount of detail in these forestry areas. Lots of bushes, lots of different ground textures, lots of plants placed randomly, and all the forestry around this map is like this. And it makes for a really cool forestry area. I really like it, and such attention to detail is utterly fantastic. There is a railway line going through here. I don't know if that means that we have a railway area that is loadable with stuff, but certainly it's in fact, yes, looking at the listing on the mod hub, there is a train system, so the railway does work. And in fact, coming into here, you can see we've got a loading area next to the train here, and this is our sawmill as well. So we've got unloading area here. We've got the loading section there. This is for logs. I'm guessing this is for I'm guessing that's for wood chips. Yeah, because we've got wood chip areas here. And then over there, we've got the cool train function. So if we press this, yeah, we're not looking to rent the train. Turn rent a train. Yeah, we're not looking to rent that train. And round the side over here, I would guess we've got a loading area for planks, because this is, or is this the sawmill, or is this just somewhere where we can drop stuff off? Yeah, I can't see anywhere where we can purchase this. So this certainly just seems to be a standard sawmill on this bit. The map is not the easiest to go around in a circle. Lots of roads coming off sections and running past bits. So we're kind of going through the middle of the map at the moment. I'm going to try and scale or move my way around it. This here, though, is our main farmyard. And the starting equipment I'll go through at the end. But it does give you quite large starting equipment for the farm you're on. For example, we've got this John Deere 8RT here. And we've got a New Holland T8 over there. Both with some fairly large equipment. And the yard itself is fairly sparse, which leads me to the whole thing of this map very much being more of a survival map. And I think that's how I would approach this. I think it's going to be a hard map to... Well, if you get enjoyment from owning the whole map and trying to farm the whole map, this is definitely a map that you can go in and do that without having to cheat any money in. You could definitely go in and do that. And then same actually with New Farmer. New Farmer, you have enough money to buy a significant portion of the map without having to borrow any money or do anything like that. I think the biggest challenge for most people on this map is actually going to be having enough money to buy equipment. When you can't borrow huge amounts of cash, it suddenly becomes much more difficult to get equipment when you need it. Instead, you've got a lot more work to get up there, which is a little bit genius, if I'm honest. I think that makes it a very interesting map from that point of view. You can own all the land, but you're going to be very hard pushed to actually work it. Now, I'm just going to skip through the edge of this field here and skip over to what looks like to be a power plant area over this way. And so I do like that all of the, I don't know if you heard that there, but all of the electricity transformers, they all buzz like that. Part of the reason for grabbing this TLX is because with these wheels on is because I can move over the rougher terrain rather nicely, which is quite important when I'm trying to skip around the edge of somewhere like here and find myself completely fenced off from getting anywhere near it. But coming around the edge here, we can get into here and have a look. And yeah, we have got a sell point here. So we've got a big grain mill over this way with a sell point through here. And then we've got a couple of others this way. Looks like we've got some root crop selling points over there. And over here, we have the processing point for the stones. So that's the stone crusher sell point over that way. Again, a loading ramp in here for the train too. I think as for a forestry map as well, with the Platinum Edition coming out, this would be a good map for that. Lots and lots of forestry, lots of train loading stuff, plenty of space for larger vehicles to be played with and have some fun with, so long as you can afford them. And that's the thing. It's gonna be that's gonna be a bigger issue. Also, I think there's some scope here to do a bit of homesteading. There's lots of areas that you could convert into extra fields. So there's plenty of space to expand some of these smaller fields into larger ones. From the field prices, buying land is not going to be an issue, but getting actually being able to work it, I think, is going to be something else. We've got just a circle around fields 12, 13, 14 and 15 here. So we will skip out onto the main road. I don't think we got much down that road that way. No, there's a sell point right at the top of the map up here. So we'll head up this way and have a quick look at that. But it's a fairly flat and open map mostly. The areas in the trees have a little bit more elevation and are a little bit rougher, but in general don't really affect the farmland. The farmland itself, as I said, is a pretty flat affair on this map. So it's like it's spaced on a woodland plain a bit, which is a little bit odd. Also, I find this dual carriageway a little bit odd. The way it works and the way the traffic's flowing on it, it's two roads next to each other instead of an actual dual carriageway, even though some of the stuff on the sides is shaped like it should be. So fuel station is what we have here up the top. So if you need your fuel, you head up to the top of the map here, and I'm just going to cut down to us picking it up further back down this road. So we're back down on the road we came off originally. Where we came, cut across from fields 12, 13, 14, and 15. And we've got a wild river. Oh, this is the shop. Yeah, this is our purchase points for vehicles. So nice custom vehicle shop here. And yeah, with working trigger there, and the trigger for sale and workshop is over this way. Don't think any of these work. No. You can see here we do have the toys to pick up around the map. I would say picking up one of those toys is probably going to give you enough money to buy several fields. So it's going to be interesting. The more I reflect on the field prices on this map, the more I think I would like to see them slightly higher. Only paying £500 for a field and things like that does seem a little bit low to me. I think it does end up presenting, as I said before, a different kind of challenge on this map, and it really does restrict the whole loan setup. But you are going to be able to get a lot of land very quickly with how this map is set up. Sell point here at the grocers. That is round the back here. So I would guess that this is a final drop-off point for production stuff. Haven't seen a lot of productions on here. I mean, even the sawmill wasn't a production area. So I don't know how many productions are actually built into this map. Over here we have the animal market in there. That's Larson, so that's a standard game one, and yeah, looks like we have a sell point here for this is sell point for straw. This comes off Elm Creek, Larson's. So yeah, that's the sell point for straw. Then if we head back out onto the road here, I think we have something off to the top. Sorry, to the to the southeast from over here. And so bring this around and head down this road. And yeah, we've got a fairly big grain mill or grain setup here. So it doesn't look like we really have any productions built into this map. Looks like they are things you're going to have to add in yourself. And yes, again, from Elm Creek, I think this is, and that goes grain and sell point there. Let's head back out this way It is a surprisingly flat map. This really is. It looks like it's got lots of areas to expand, actually. It's got roadways that are sort of cordoned off that you could get rid of those barriers and then build in there. And it seems purposefully underdeveloped. And yeah, and you can see that in how that is set up, you know, with the land for sale signs and the idea that this isn't just about the fields that are there. This is about the fields that the map is encouraging you to expand and create. So I quite like that. It feels like a map where the land is unimportant, and it's all about taking that cheap land and developing it and making it work for you going forwards, which is quite cool. It's definitely a different approach to a map and a different style of gameplay, and I quite like that. And what have we got there? Oh, hang on. So I've said there's no productions. That is a pizza place. Oh, maybe that takes... Yeah, again, that's a sell point, not a production facility. So there are sell points for some production stuff in here, but there's no actual productions. Oh no, I take it back. We have found a production. We have the bakery. So where is... There it is. So yeah, we do have at least one production built into this map in the form of the bakery, which is quite cool. I do like that it is in there, and that, of course. So we must have a mill in here as well for making flour, I would guess. We're back to where we started, because I want to have a look here for how our starting equipment is and for what else we have on here. So let's have a look in the starting equipment and see what we own. So we do own a wide variety of equipment, and we have nothing leased. Tractor wise, we have a medium Massey Ferguson 8S, which is a medium tractor at 305 horsepower. Large tractors, we have 4 large tractors on here. We've got a John Deere 8RT, a New Holland T8, a Fendt 942 Vario, and a John Deere 7R. I'm not sure I would keep all of these if I was starting as new farmer. I think you could get a lot of money just by selling a couple of these off and using it to buy forestry equipment. Harvesters, you've got a John Deere X9 combine. You have a JCB telehandler. You have a Lizard pickup. Trailers, there's a Cramp big body 750S. Headers, we've got the HD45X for the John Deere combine. Stone pickers includes the ELHO Scorpio. Subsoilers, we've got the Agricem Cultiplow Platinum 8M. Seeders, we've got the Akun Espero 6000 RC. Sprayers, we've got the Hardy Mega 1200L along with its front tank. Weeders, the Einbock Numastar 900. Telehandler tools, we've got a bucket and a pallet fork from Magisai for our JCB. Header trailer, the Anadi 6045 for the header. And that is everything that, that is everything that has included, or has been included with New Farmer, the cabin, the crew cabin, and the TLX, obviously being added by me. So it is an interesting map, this, and I think it's very much one that requires a different style of gameplay to normal. I think for a standard, almost all standard gameplays, I probably wouldn't recommend this map. For a survival, I think it's really interesting. How it's got contracts. They are not massively well-paying contracts. despite the size of some of them. I mean, field 37 for the oats. Where are we? Is that? So that's not a small field, but the price it pays is only 7,000. So yeah, this is definitely I think this is definitely a survival map. It's one where you're going to have to work hard to get equipment on survival. So if you're starting with nothing, you are going to be renting equipment in the early stages. You have to. You need to get your own farm started and your own crops coming in. And I think as a survival challenge, it'll be a really interesting challenge on this map. Also, lots of forestry. I think the forestry setup on here would be great. I think if you're doing it with standard amounts of money, then you're going to find it a little bit easier. Although, as I said, you're going to find it hard once that money runs out. There's going to be very little in the that you're going to be able to raise as a loan. You're going to have to work for everything on here. Completely different style of gameplay. Absolutely love the idea of that. Something that brings a fresh perspective to Farm Sim is always good. So yeah, if you fancy a bit of a different challenge, go check out Wild River Forest. Cracking looking map. Really different approach. And I think it's worth a shot. So with that, all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.